Have you ever felt that plants know more than they should? That they sense and communicate faster than science dares to admit? Take the bee orchid. It doesn't just resemble a female bee, it even smells like one. Male bees try to mate with the flower, and in doing so, they spread its pollen. A perfect illusion that feels almost too intentional. But how could a plant possibly know what a bee looks like? Science calls it coincidence. Then there's Rafflesia, the largest flower on earth. Born from within another plant, smelling of death to invite the insects that will give it life. Parasitic, beautiful, terrifying. Some plants, like Passiflora, paint small false eggs on their leaves, tricking butterflies into believing the plant is already taken. They move on, leaving the leaf unharmed, laying their eggs somewhere else. In the deserts of Africa, living stones disguise themselves as pebbles. They don't fight to survive, they vanish. Then there is Bocchilla trifoliolata, a climbing vine from Chile that can copy the exact color and shape of the leaves it grows beside, even mimicking the leaves of a plastic host. How can something without eyes see so perfectly? Plants may not have eyes, but I'm convinced they can sense the invisible world around them. The magnetic hum of the earth, the rhythm of light, the unseen frequencies that fill the air. To believe that all our towers, signals, and wireless waves pass through this living field without consequence seems almost impossible. Every pulse we send disturbs a harmony that nature still hears. It's not only plants that imitate their surroundings. The mirror works both ways. Insects and animals borrow the shapes of plants, vanishing into the scenery they depend on. The leaf insect sways like a drifting leaf, complete with veins, bite marks, and fading edges. The dead leaf butterfly folds its wings to become decay itself, a perfect illusion of a withered leaf, until it opens to reveal flashes of blue and orange inside. Yet that brilliant blue isn't really there at all. No pigment, only structure bending light. In nature, true blue is almost never made, but it appears through the way light falls. The Vietnamese mossy frog looks like a lump of damp forest. Its skin of green and black nodules blurs its outline. Whenever I see a frog in the wild, I just have to pick it up. There's something oddly cute, almost gross, but adorable about them. But this one, that tiny, almost smiling face, it's absolutely precious. Even spiders join the masquerade. The wraparound spider flattens itself along branches, matching every grain of bark. And leaf grasshoppers mimic torn, fungal leaves, complete with holes and scars. The way termites build their soaring homes, perfect ventilation, chambers tuned to temperature and sound, feels less like instinct and more like memory. Inside, the walls curve and breathe, resembling the strange buildings found across the world. Some creatures live only for a single day, yet they arrive complete. Builders, born with the map already inside them. And what if the same could be said of us? We say humans have existed for millions of years, with the same mind we have now, yet only recently do we claim to have left the caves. Perhaps the question isn't how far we've come, but what we left behind. We were told that nature is a war, survival of the fittest, but maybe that story was never true. And yes, there is struggle, a pulse of life and death. Yet beyond the fight, another truth unfolds. Birds risk their lives to warn even strangers of danger. Elephants stop for their dead and lift the fallen. Dolphins guide the wounded to the surface. Wolves care for their weakest before themselves. Nature isn't ruled by competition, but by connection, memory, and quiet acts of care. And beneath the surface, the same harmony continues. A hidden world of warning, sharing, and unseen alliances. When one is attacked, it releases invisible signals into the air, and trees far away begin to prepare their own defenses. Within the soil, a living web of fungi connects them, roots sharing water, minerals, and even stress. Long before humans built their first networks, the forest had already done it, a web exchanging not data, but life. The strangler fig begins life high in another's crown, sending roots downward until the host itself is gone. Eucalyptus trees can change the chemistry of their leaves when they sense others nearby are being eaten, as if the forest whispers through chemistry. Even the scent of cut grass is not peace, but alarm, a green cry that travels through the air, warning others to prepare. What we breathe in as freshness is the smell of a plant under attack. And some plants move when touched, folding their leaves in an instant, as if they remember every contact. Some even count. The Venus flytrap won't close until it's been touched twice, as if it waits to be sure. And beneath the quiet surface, plants also pulse with electricity, tiny currents moving through their cells like signals in a nervous system. When a leaf is touched, or a root meets stone, a spark of response travels through the plant. It may not have a brain as we know it, but perhaps each nucleus carries its own quiet awareness. Some scientists once claimed that water could hold a memory, that after a substance vanished, its imprint remained. What if every drop carries the memory of everything it has touched? Stone, sky, and the pulse of all who ever drank from it. Beyond ice, liquid, and vapor, some researchers describe a fourth phase, a state that forms where water touches matter, in that quiet space between motion and form. Neither solid nor free-flowing, but a bridge between stillness and flow. Even the sky joins the circuit. Lightning returns nitrogen to the soil, a spark feeding the green below. Sometimes a strike leaves its mark, branching scars called Lichtenberg figures, the living image of a moment when heaven touched ground. Yet the same shapes stretch across continents. Vast river systems called dendritic patterns, said to be carved by water over ages. The same story is told of canyons and valleys, landscapes like Monument Valley in the United States, their towering forms said to be shaped by erosion, though their symmetry feels almost deliberate. From shells to sunflowers, the same spiral returns, a pattern we call the golden ratio. Beneath it lies the Fibonacci rhythm, a sequence that guides how petals turn and branches divide. Fractals follow a code of repetition, where each form reflects itself in endless variation. there are forests turned to stone, a process we still barely understand. Every cell of the wood replaced by minerals, the living grain transformed into crystal. Bulbs count the hours of cold before they awaken. No brief spell of warmth can deceive their ancient clock. Poinsettias need long, unbroken nights to bloom and form their red bracts. Even a single flash of light can confuse them. Some plants perform photosynthesis at night, a quiet exchange called cam, storing breath in the dark to feed on sunlight by day. Inside every leaf, tiny green chambers turn light into life. Chlorophyll captures light and transforms it into energy, a miracle so precise that some physicists believe it follows quantum laws, where light moves through many paths at once, finding the most perfect way. Not all light is equal. Blue light keeps plants compact and strong. Red light makes them reach upward, sensing the shadows above, as if searching for the sun they cannot see. In northern latitudes, where daylight is short, greenhouses bathe plants in extra blue to keep them balanced. But in our cities, the cold white glow of modern streetlights confuses the night. Trees near the lamps hold their leaves too long, flowers forget when to bloom, and the insects that once pollinated them now circle endlessly around the light. Even the ocean performs photosynthesis. Most of the oxygen we breathe doesn't come from forests, but from the invisible gardens of plankton drifting beneath the waves. And in the depths, some life gives the light back. Bioluminescent oceans where the night itself glows alive. Their glow comes from luciferin, a molecule that burns without flame, turning life into light. Forests still clean the air and filter the dust of our existence, yet they reuse most of the oxygen they create, showing how everything in nature is made to give and to return. I've never fully believed life is just random mutation and slow adaptation. We speak of progress and innovation, but we're now trying to redesign nature. For over 30 years, scientists around the world have tried to recreate the hidden partnership that clover and legumes already possess. A living bond that draws nitrogen from the air to one day pass that gift to other plants. It makes me wonder what happens when we start tampering with something so ancient and finely tuned. What unseen balance might we disturb when we try to rewrite what nature already knows? Today, scientists are experimenting with growing vaccines inside edible plants. Lettuce and spinach that could deliver medicine when eaten instead of injected. It's still only in testing, but if it ever becomes real, heat and cooking would destroy those substances. Every change we make ripples outward, breaking the quiet harmony between plants, insects, and sky. A balance we barely understand. But instead of seeing it as imbalance, we gave it a name and called it climate change. We change the weather, forgetting the balance we borrow from. We take it from one place to give it to another, and then charge the world for the damage we've done. The price is now paid by those who had no say in it. Amid all this complexity, one truth still remains. For every poison, nature keeps an antidote. For every wound, a cure already grows somewhere in the wild. Some say the shapes of plants reveal their purpose, that every form in nature carries a hint of what it can heal. The walnut mirrors the folds of the brain and was used to calm the mind. Beans resemble the kidneys and were trusted to cleanse them. Lungwort, patterned like lung tissue, was brewed for coughs and breath. Even a slice of carrot reflects the iris of the eye and helps restore the light within it. As if nature left a quiet map of healing, written not in words, but in shapes.